Hey, Mr. Ferrante, it's Andy. Today I'm going to be solving a double radical equation. So this is the problem we have. We have the square root of x plus 19 minus the square root of x minus 20 is equal to 3. So the first thing you have to do when you have two radicals in an equation is you have to isolate one of them, which I did by adding the square root of x minus 20 to both sides of the equation, which then left me with the square root of x plus 19 on one side by itself, which ends up being the square root of x plus 19 equals 3 plus the square root of x minus 20. So then after we do that, we have to get rid of the radical over here, so we're going to have to square it because we don't want an answer with a radical. So we square both sides. Tricky part right here though is we have to FOIL this instead of just putting 9 plus x minus 20. So then I wrote it out so I could FOIL it, and over here the radical just cancels out. So we get x plus 19 is equal to 3 plus root x minus 20 times 3 plus root x minus 20. After we FOIL that, we end up getting x plus 19 equals 9 plus 6 root x minus 20 plus x minus 20. Then we can go ahead and add like terms. Oops, sorry, I already seemed to cross it out. But we get x plus 19 equals x plus 6 times the square root of x minus 20 minus 11. Then what I did here is I added, what did I do? I added x to both, or I subtracted x from both sides, and I added 11 to both sides to cancel out the x and the negative 11 on this side, so that on this side you see the x cancels out, and then we end up getting 30, because 19 plus 11 is 30, so we get 30 equals 6 root x minus 20. And then the next step we can do here, which is like sort of a little shortcut, is we can divide both sides by 6 and cancel that out so that we'd be working with smaller numbers. So after I go ahead and did that, I ended up with 5 is equal to the square root of x minus 20. Then we still have to square it because we still want to get rid of that radical. So we square both sides. We end up with 25 equals x minus 20. And then we go ahead and add like terms again, isolate the x, and we get x is equal to 45. Then after you get the answer, you can go ahead and check it, which is what I did. So I have the original problem right there, and then I just filled in x with 45. So we got square root of 45 plus 19 minus the square root of 45 minus 20 is equal to 3. After adding all the numbers under the radical, we end up getting the square root of 64 minus the square root of 25 is equal to 3. And we all know the square root of 64 is 8, and the square root of 25 is 5. When you subtract 8 from 5, you get 3. 3 is equal to 3, that's true, so that means x equals 45 is the correct answer.